So a little while ago when I was messing around with swapping maps, I discovered that multiplayer maps that are based on the story locations, their model is actually situated in the exact same place in the world as the single player map. So that means this is the bus depot here. If I load a bus depot chapter, then Joel will spawn in the proper location. You can see this is the highway where you start this chapter, and Ellie spawns, but she can't follow me because there is no NAVMESH up here. So that's where the game dictates where NPCs can stand and follow you. So we can see here, this is the bus depot multiplayer map. There's the bus depot actually on the other side instead of over here. But yeah, so it's a multiplayer map. So I thought a bit more ahead, and I thought, what if I swapped a multiplayer map with a story map that had NPCs that had a gunfight in it? Then I could see what would happen there. So I just went ahead and I replaced the single player docks level with the multiplayer docks map. So you can see this is the multiplayer map, and if I load the docks chapter on the story, you can see there's a problem. Now that guy just walks straight through that bus, because that bus is not there in single player, because the NPC spawn locations and the navigation mesh are both in the same file. So if I load the multiplayer map and the single player NPC spawns, then we've got a problem here, because they can just walk through multiplayer objects. So it kind of ruins the immersion as these guys just kind of just run through objects. See if I can get him to do it again. There he goes, just walking into the wall, because he thinks he's still in the single player level. Now, so what I did was I got the file that controls the spawn locations and the nav mesh for the single player, and I disabled the nav mesh in it. So now the NPCs will only follow the nav mesh in the multiplayer level. So you can see here, if I go out here, he won't run through the bus, but it's not really programmed to be single player. So he kind of stays in the bus, but at least he's following the multiplayer map objects. The nav mesh also applies to Tess, so she can follow me and take cover in the correct cover places, etc. So basically, what I've done is this. I've taken the file with the single player enemy spawns, and I've merged it with the multiplayer map and the multiplayer map's nav mesh, and I disabled the single player map's nav mesh. So now I can have a gunfight on a multiplayer level. So let's just have some fun here. Oh, by the way, the single player weapon spawns are also loaded, so things are floating here. So in single player there's cover here, but it's different in multiplayer, so yeah.
What was that? Watch yourself.
And yeah, so here's a little zoom out, and that's a single player NPC fight on a multiplayer map.